you know, rules to define what areas, in the market, what particular areas or zones, what are called powerful structure zones, or areas that you should be looking for to take trades from, whether it's shorts or longs, doesn't really matter. But it's just, first and foremost, I've always said this in the past: follow market structure. Okay, so here are the rules. Okay, one, always look at your higher time frame. The higher time frame, um, you know, supply and demand areas. Your higher time frame. Figure out what the market is doing from a higher time frame. All right. So what did I do? I looked at my 1 hour chart. I'm using a 1 hour chart at this time. I'm trying to show you as an example that you can use. We can do it off the 12 range chart, but the 1 hour is probably going to give you, it gives me a bigger picture. It helps me to define my bias. You can use 12 range to do the same. But if you're using a lower time frame for your entry chart, like the 4 range, use a higher time frame if you're going to be looking at to kind of get a bias of the direction of the market. Okay, but I'm kind of scaling down from the from the 60-minute and 1 hour to the 12 range. Okay, and then look at the four range. But anyways, looking at the 1 hour chart, we can see that the market has been breaking structure to the downside. Like I said, breaking structure, just breaking structure, breaking lows. Okay, and then at some point we're looking for price to uphold an area. Okay, an area of support. And that area of support, to me, is just not an area of support, but it's also an area I'm looking for. I'm marking my zone. I like to look for areas of demand in the market, okay? To me, this is the area of demand right here where I saw price bouncing out of, this zone area right here, okay? So one, figure out from a higher time frame, the structure of the market by following, price action and looking at the market structure, okay? The market structure, and look at the market. When I saw price pushing up here and pushing lower, okay, I said the market structure to the downside. The price is breaking market structure to the downside, okay? All right, so I'm looking at that, okay? And then from that, I can mark off areas to where I maybe look where price can maybe hold its, uphold a zone where price will uphold structure or support at, okay? So to me, this is a powerful area to be looking for maybe something to happen, okay? Powerful structure, trading structure, all right? Two, if you're looking, say, at that point, I'm over looking at the 12 range chart, okay? All right. When I see price, you can use this as a tool to use to determine powerful structures as well. Say, for instance, you didn't even want to look at the 1 hour chart. You want to use it in 1 hour. You trade strictly out the 12, okay? And then looking at the 4 for your entry. How to identify powerful structures in the market that will be good areas on pullbacks where price would uphold, structure at, meaning that it will stop there, pause there, and you can possibly look for an entry at, okay? First of all, if you see big swings, okay, on the 12 range, all right? So continue watching the video, and I talk about rules that will help you define powerful structures in the market to where you can set levels at and trade from, guys. I give points, tips on things you can do that will help aid you in finding those powerful structure areas, okay? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Future Trading with Mike, and once again, it's another video of me trading the Emini S&P 500 futures. And today is the 10th of January, guys. It is Monday morning. I'm starting off a little late here. It's 10:20, and what we can see now in the market is a decent sell-off. Okay, so the market had continued to sell off, making lower lows and lower highs. So, all right, so let's take a look here to see possibly what the market is bouncing off of. So I'll bring the line down to this area here, kind of take a look to see. Okay, we see that area there. All right, so yeah, the market has been breaking. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart because you probably see a little better here. Basically breaking structure to the downsides, guys. Market structure. So we were breaking these lows to the downside from previous days. So we're breaking prior day session, or not say prior day session, but yeah, prior day session lows. I said like that. Okay, going back into December. And so if you have any kind of bias right now, it would be kind of to the downside in a sense, looking for pullbacks. Okay, now this is off of the 1 hour chart here, as I was saying, talking about. So in today's video, I'm basically going to be I want to kind of, this is going to be my live trading video. So if you're new to the channel, guys, basically I'm a live day trader. I trade the Emini S&P 500 futures, each and every day almost, and I post my videos to the channel. So these are my live recorded session of me trading this particular market. And if you go back and look at some of my other videos, this is what I do every single day. So if you're looking for someone to follow that live day trades and post their content to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, sub to the channel, and as well as drop me a like on the videos also. And make sure to hit that, that little bell notification icon. That's the post notification that will inform you or alert you each time that I post a video here to the channel. But if you're already subscribed to the channel, you guys know what it is. I thank you for subbing to the channel and liking the videos. And also what I do outside of just, showing my trades, I also explain or discuss my trades and also cover certain topics and give away certain hints and tips, whatever the case is. I'm not an instructor, I'm not a teacher, I'm just here to, provide my advice and my opinion about the market and how I actually trade, okay guys? All right, so the price is bouncing off an area of support right now, okay, as we can see. And let's see here. This is an area of actual demand in a sense, guys. So we are pulling back to this area. Like I said, price has broken structure. So it'd be interesting to see what price does in this area here, or we could possibly push lower. I'm not sure. But yeah, this was right here. This is a nice area right here for price to kind of bounce out of. Now, what we want to do now is look at our 12 range chart to see what's going on in the market, because we've kind of identified a market area. And yeah, let's see what the market does here. So what I'm looking for price to do now, and being that, let's see here. I'm gonna take a look at the 60-minute again. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, so we have pretty much resistance up here where this purple line is at. Okay, so price is pushing down, breaking, kind of lows to the downside, breaking structure to the downside, breaking lows, within the swing to the downside, breaking lows. Okay, but this right here, let's see. Okay, all right. So basically, this is an area of resistance. A better area of resistance, if you're going off the 1 hour chart here, would be, I'm just looking on my chart, guys. 60-minute chart, the 1 hour chart here. Probably this area right here. So this is around the 46.57 area. If you want to kind of take a look at that area, price gets back up there for maybe a sell short, maybe even, around this area here, 46.33. But I like to look for bigger areas of price, make bigger swings, especially to the downside in this instance here. So basically pullbacks, major pullbacks, where price actually pulls back several candles and then pushes lower. So those will be key identified areas. So bigger swings in the market, especially off the 1 hour chart, mean a lot, because they hold more value to me, because of the fact is that it's a good probability or possibility that the market will come back to those areas at some point and reject that area, and we can look for trade that area of resistance when price swings back to it. Okay, smaller movements like the price pushes down, pull back. Now I'm not saying this right here is not a big movement. If off the 1 hour is small, it looks small. But if you maybe look at the 12 range, it probably looks like a bigger pullback. Okay, so once price pulls back to this area, you can take a look at your chart. And also, this is around the 46.40 area too. So that is a hidden pivot area that you don't hear too much about, but it is a hidden pivot area that price could actually bounce off of. All right, so what I do is I look for bigger swings, like this move right here. Price pushes up, pulls back, moving into this area of support now. The lower end of this area, of this swing here, this major swing to the upside here. Okay, so price pushes up, pulls back pretty significant, and then pushes higher. A lot of buying coming out of this area here. So this would be an area that I'm interested in. That's why I marked it, because we have good area of support, not only support, but demand, because price pushes back or pulls back lower into the area of the swing, the lower portion of the low of the swing, pretty much. Okay. So at this point here, I'm switching over to my 12 range chart now. Okay. So basically, I'm kind of giving away tips or hints about the way that, using the higher time frames and scaling back to the lower time frames is what you really want to do. So when you're looking for entries. Okay, so I'm looking for price to, I see that it's holding structure on my 60-minute chart at a key area, which is an area of support. Okay, so now what I'm looking for the market to do now is kind of show itself in a sense. This here could be a decent area where price could actually maybe bounce at, then pull back to this area, this level right here. Okay, this swing, and then possibly maybe reject, because we're at the higher end of the high volume area, correct? All right, so we can see if price is going to reject that area. It may not, not sure 100%, but right now we see that it is trying to reject that area. So we will pay attention to see what happens here. And it may just push back down to the, okay, because I'm short, guys, okay? So we could get it pushed back down to the point of control here, okay? So I'm short right now. I'm taking a little short entry. Hoping that price comes back and pushes back down to the point of control. Okay, now we are in this high volume area here. You can see it here. So I'm gonna scalp this puppy right here because it may give me a little resistance here, being that we're in this high volume area. So let's swing back down. Come on now. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Come on. I got it bouncing off my my TP. There we go, a little profit target there. Just looking for maybe come down to the point of control. So just scalping this area here because we pull back to the area of support, small area of support here off the 12 range pretty much. It'll be nice to see it pull back into this area here, up towards the upper portion of this area right here at 4,600, but it didn't. So be mindful because it could pull back to this area right here, 4,600, and then we could see what happens from that area there. It possibly could do that. So it swung down, pull back, push lower. So it could pull back to this area right here, which would be put us at the upper portion of this high volume area. Okay. So basically, in this video here today, along with my my scalping, I'm pretty much a day scalper, guys. I scalp the markets, this particular market each and every single day, the S&P 500 futures. So basically, in this video, I will be talking about rules to define powerful trading structures. So basically, the rules that define powerful trading structures in this particular video. So there are key rules that you need to pay attention to, which will aid you and help you overall, kind of get the bias or the overall, where you can see the direction of the market. Is what I'm trying to say, guys, and the rule, those areas in which define good trading levels, or good trading areas, support and resistance areas. So, I look for price to pull back to the area of demand. Demand or supply. So in this instance right here, if price was to pull back to this, higher, it'll be pulling back into the deeper portion of the swing here, the upper portion of the swing at this high right here, towards the high, and this would be an area of supply that I would possibly be interested in. But we'll see what happens here because I just mentioned. The bias right now is to the downside if we're looking at the 60-minute, like I just mentioned, okay? Because price, I keep saying Bryce, I said it in a prior video, guys, excuse me, guys. Price is breaking structure, meaning it's breaking lows to the downside as it's moving lower, okay? So if we turn around off the 12 range chart, and right now so we got an overall bias, the market is pushing lower, right? So let's see what we're looking for at this point here. Is that if price is going to hold this area of support, where it's at right here, okay, and just give us some entries or areas where price is going to actually pull back, reject, and then we can push lower looking for a support. Now, if we start breaking structure to the upside, that means the overall direction is changing. So we'll see what happens here. But what I want to, like I said, we'll talk about in this video is just the rules to define, powerful areas in the market where we can actually trade from, depending on the movement of price and if it's breaking structures and things like that. So when I say breaking structure, price breaks structure as it pushes to the downside. So if we look at the 12 range chart here, like price pushed down, made a low, pull back, made a high here, a lower high here, broke structure, meaning broke structure of this low through this low right here, pushes down, pulls back, breaks structure again, just swinging to the downside. Each time it breaks a low on its way down, pushing down, pulling back, breaking structure, it breaks that low right there, okay? So let's see what happens if price kind of pulls back to this area right here, all right? Now, what we don't want to see it do is break this area here to the upside, because then from a shorter time frame, that could mean that maybe price is trying to change its direction in a sense. That is from a short-term bias of if price breaks this high right here, okay? But from a bigger standpoint, if we look at that 1 hour chart, things are to the downside. Okay, so my bias right now is to take shorts. Okay, I'm not saying you can't take longs, but my bias right now is to take shorts because I'm looking at the higher time frame. So always have a higher time frame, kind of coupled with your with another time frame chart, a lower time frame chart, whatever the case is. So like I just mentioned, so we're going to be looking for if price is going to be breaking areas of structure. We're going to be looking for, so basically price breaking areas of structure or holding areas of structure will help us define what areas are good areas to actually trade from, levels to trade from. And, this is a level, right? All right. So what I'm looking for, okay, so I'm talking and price is, let's see here. Yeah. So I'm just paying attention to see if price is going to break lower. But anyways, yeah, we're looking to see if price is going to hold certain areas now of structure, and pretty much on the pullback, those levels that we could possibly take shorts from. Okay. So let's see. So I'm going to talk about here in the video at some point, those rules to define, powerful trading structures, or powerful, excuse me, guys, I'm just I'm pausing because I'm trying to pay attention to what the market's doing here. Yeah, powerful rules to define those structures in the market. What are powerful structures of where the market could actually come back to, and to where we can take a basis off of taking a trade from. Get a little tongue twisted in this video because it's hard to live trade and then talk about something in the video, but I'm trying to do both at the same time, guys. So please beg your pardon. Okay, I am short scalping. Come on, there we go. Okay, I'm scalping. Price comes to this area right here at, okay, going short again. I'm just going to show you guys. Price probably come down to this area right here at 88. Boom. Okay. Quick scalping. Okay. So I mentioned this area right here. Okay. Price is probably at the VPOC right now if we look at the 12 range. Okay. Almost there. All right. So the reason why I took that trade was on a pullback. I mentioned the overall bias is to the downside because if you look at the higher time frame, price is breaking structure, major levels, major areas of structure to the downside. So at that point, we're looking for price to pull back to areas of resistance, areas of supply, in a sense where we can take a trade going short. Okay, so we look for price to break through with much power, having powerful force through those areas of structure on a higher time frame, and then scale back to the 12 range chart, say for instance, to look to see if we can depict a trading level or an area, a trading zone, which this is a zone in a sense. The zone I was looking for was up here though, because I'm right here at the higher end of the swing here to take a trade from. Okay, so all right, so now is price going to continue pushing lower? Well, we'll see here. That's what I can say. That's what I can tell you. We'll see. So this was a level right here, and that level was at 45.91. Nope, 45.91. Sorry, I'm just looking at my 12 range chart, guys. 45.91. All right, so price broke some structure right here. If we look at that swing that I showed you to the downside, price broke this structure right here on the 12 range. So basically, we look for a pullback, right? We look for the pullback. So 45.91. Okay, just scaling back on my 12 range. I see it sitting here. All right, price breaks that area, breaks that structure there, right here. The swing to the downside, that swing to the upside I showed you. Price broke that structure. So price broke through a low. Okay, a swing that was headed to the upside. It broke structure. It broke market structure. Swung down, push back, boom, break structure right here. This low. Not only did it break this structure here low, this area of structure here, but it broke that swing to the upside, that market structure where price is swinging to the upside. On the pullback, okay, this is resistance right here. We're looking for price to maybe have some area of rejection there, and then you can go short if you get the failure, the rejection here. I was looking for maybe price to pull back into this area right here, which gave us a little better trade maybe. This is supply right here, okay? All right. So let's see. I'm trying to pull up my trade performance. Today is the 10th. All right, I'm just up 25 ticks, guys. Okay, right now. So, all right, let's see what happens here. Is price going to continue breaking structure to the downside? So the structure I'm talking about to the downside now, if we look at according to structure, we saw price push down, swung back, breaking structure, pulls back. Now, is it going to break structure to the downside here? The structure right here, this low, is it going to break that low to the downside? Well, it looks like it may. So we'll just wait and see. Now, if we want to look for actual entries, if price continues making swings to the downside, breaking structure, okay, now it's kind of bouncing right here, right? All right, so let's pay attention here because this could actually be a nice little entry long here, but we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. Now this is counter trend trading. If I take this long here, I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm just looking to see if price is going to reject or is it going to push lower. So, we stand still and wait for price to tell us what it's trying to do. Okay. If not, it breaks lower and breaks structure here, then we just look for the opportunity next. But like I mentioned, price is at an area to where it can, or it could hold structure at, because on that 60-minute, I showed you guys. I'm gonna blow the 60-minute chart up right here. Okay, this is demand, guys. This is demand sitting out here. Yeah, this is demand right here. The price is at right now. Now it can break lower. I'm not saying it can't. It definitely can. It's demand sitting in it there though. Because when price pushed up here, had a decent pullback. Oh man, I don't know why I did that. Decent pullback. Okay. I'm not sure why it's not staying on. I need to change it. Decent pullback and then it pushes higher. Okay. So this is demand. All right. We'll see what happens. So where we're at now is price going to continue breaking structure, meaning breaking that low we just saw off the 60-minute chart there, or is it going to hold that area of structure? So price breaks through that area I just showed you on the 60-minute chart, that 1-hour chart, then we're breaking market structure again. And right now your bias should be to the downside, maybe looking for shorts. I'm not saying you can't take longs, but be careful. And I'm gonna talk about those rules to define how to define and to pick areas where you can take good trades from, those powerful trading opportunities based on certain zones that make sense according to price movement. If price is breaking structure in certain areas and looking for those pullbacks to those good zones. All right, so price is actually, we look at the 60-minute again. You know, it looks like it's trying to break lower, right? Okay. At this point, it is. So, um, let's see. Okay. So, decent pullback here, right? So, like I showed you, price push down, decent pullback. Price push down, decent pullback. Excuse me, breaking structure again here. Let's see what happens. Is price going to pull back? You know, the next zone, which would be an area of supply for me, rectangle. Okay, well, maybe be in this area right here if we can get it. But sometimes price may not come back to that area right there. It may just come back to this area right here, which is straight up resistance. So we'll see. Okay. All right. Our volume profile on my 60-minute chart has disappeared on me, but that's okay. Yeah. So like I said, my bias is to the downside right now because of price breaking market structure. Definitely looking at the higher time frame, the 1 hour. But you can just you can definitely trade off the 12 range and use that as a higher time frame if you. Okay, I'm going long, guys. 82.50. Yeah, I am going long right now. You see me going long. Come on. I'm counter trading right now. Come on. I don't want to see this here. 80.75. I'm gonna go ahead and take profit here. Okay. All right. 1.2 contracts. That's no problem. Price probably will possibly pull back up here to 80. Um, maybe 82. Where we at now? 80 and a half. It possibly could. So I'm just scalping right now. I'm countering trading based on rejection here at the bottom here. Okay. Um, there is an area right here, but to me, it's not a key area that I would mark as a zone because to me it's just not a powerful level. Now it could be, I'm going off the 1 hour. If I look over at the 12 range chart, it possibly could be, but price swung back into this level right here, okay, on the 60-minute chart. Now I'm looking at it on a lower time frame, a solid rejection taking place on the 4 range, and I took that entry. It's a powerful structure area. It could be possibly a powerful structure area if we look at the 12 range. To me, when I say powerful structure area, I mean an area where price made a significant pullback on the way up, okay? And that means that there's a lot of buying coming out of that area, okay? So let's look at it from a 12 range standpoint, all right? If I look at it from a 12 range standpoint, okay, we'll mark it right at the bottom of this low here. And that is what area is that? 45.78. All right, so not that. Let's go back. Okay, here it is right here. 45.78. Okay, let's see. Boom. Okay, so price, yep, it's decent on the 12 range. If you look at it, price pushed up here, came back, broke structure to the upside, came back to this zone right here, okay? And then it pushed higher, pulled back to the area, pulled back to the zone here, all right? Pull back to this area right here, which is, the swing to the upside, which is that key identified level that I told you, and it pulled back into that area, more so into the area of demand sitting right there. Now, what happened here? Price pushes up, and then at some point it pulls back again to that area right here. That same red line is that same red line I just showed you. Okay, so this is like, let's see, I can find it again, guys. Here it is. Here it is, right here. Right here. Okay, so it comes right back to that area again. Lower portion of the high volume area right here. Back at this area here, the swing level. This is a significant area of a zone that you can mark off on your chart here because price pushed up. When it pushed up, made its high here. It was a decent pullback, meaning that there was a good when price pulled back, there was a lot of buying came out of this area, so it was a good zone. Okay, so when price broke up, push up here and pull back, push up here and pull back. I wouldn't consider this really a zone because it had a couple, it pulled back a little bit, but it kind of chopped to the upside. So actually, when price pushed up here and pulled back, you got a good push to the upside. And this is the zone right here, this swing level right here. Okay, so that to me is a powerful structure, a powerful area to look for a trade opportunity to possibly go long at. And once you see that and mark it off in the chart, then you scale over and look at your 4 range chart. See that? It was a decent push. All right, so where's price at now? Let's go back to our 12 range chart here. And you have to do this, guys. I can look at my 60 minute as well, but price is still in this area. So I'm not sure if this is, let's see. Yeah, this could be definitely, let's see what's going on. Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm not sure. Just following price action is all I'm doing. Following price action, looking at the market structure to the downside, breaking structure, and that's all I'm doing. Okay. So price is still in that area I just showed you, that zone on the 12 range chart. So right now, price is pulling to the downside. So what did it do right here? It pushed down, pull back, it pushed down, breaking structure right here. It pulls back. Okay, it doesn't pull back to our zone though, but it pulls back to this area right here. And as it's breaking structure to the downside, rejects this area here. We'd like to see it come to the upper portion of the high volume area, of course, but it didn't do that. It broke structure, pullback, and I wouldn't went short there because of there's not much opportunity there. So okay, so let's see what happens here. Um, hmm. So like I said, my bias right now is to the downside, of course. All right, all right. So we're breaking structure. Let's see. We got to be careful now because we got a swing level right here. Yep, it breaking structure to the upside. Well, it's rejected this area here, but we have resistance right above us, so be careful. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. All right. So we'll see what happens here. Um, price, right now is in this area of resistance right here, and it could break structure to the upside, meaning break market structure, breaking this swing to the downside right here. It could break right here, which it already has pretty much, and continue pushing higher. So we'll see if it pushes higher, pulls back, pushes higher, and look forward to a retracement or a pullback entry. So we'll see. But price can come up here and reject, guys. So be careful because price could actually, even though it pushed low here, pull back, making our way to the downside, it could pull right back to this area here, reject out of this area right here. So this could be a retracement. We'll see. And let's see. So if you look at the 4 range, price is actually breaking market structure to the upside, right? Okay, you can see that. Hmm. Okay, I'm long. Oh crap! I took a trade too soon here. All right. Yes, I took a trade way too soon. Okay, come on. All right. All right, I'm getting on a trade there. Took a trade too early, guys. Should have waited for the pullback a little bit, but it's okay. Um, so I took that trade based on I saw price breaking structure right here. The structure right here. Price to swing to the downside. Price broke back above, pull back. I was looking for price to come back to this area right here, this zone area, which is area supply. I mean, excuse me, demand right here, and then it did. Okay, bounced out of there. Now let's see what happens if what price is going to do is it pushes higher now, because um, from a short-term bias, the market is, possibly trying to break higher, and it could be opportunity to look for longs. Not sure yet, but from a long-term bias, the market is still, um, your bias should be, focused and more so to the downside. All right, so here price is, so price breaks up here and pulls back, and then pushes higher. Um, you know, pushes higher and pulls back. I'll be looking for maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe an opportunity to go long. I'm not sure because price will be breaking structure to the upside at that point. Then meaning price pushed up, pull back, break structure right here to the upside, and then pull back for maybe for a retracement. So we'll see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, we see a price. I'll be careful here because uh, price pushed down here, made a low, pull back, and then broke structure to the downside. Now I can pull back to this area right here, where I have this rectangle box at. And I could pull back into this area. So be careful. Hmm. I'm short. There we go, that quick. All right, little short entry. Now price pull back. Okay, so price pull back right here, right? Didn't quite hit the zone or the area. We were only like, let's see, 86.75. Oh, that's 86.70, 86.75. Yeah, it didn't quite hit that zone area, but I went short there because saw the rejection here in the 4 range. And, it was risky, but it's at the VPOC, so I went short there. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, let's see. Okay, we're in this high volume area, so be careful. Okay. So right here, we see price. Let's see. I'm just trying to do now. We can still possibly tap into this area here, so be careful, you know. I took that trade right there. I was looking at rejection off of the looking at a 4-range chart. So, but the bias, like I said, is still to the downside. Yep, another short opportunity. Didn't take that one. Okay, so here was an area to buy right here. Price pulling back. It's breaking structure right here, okay, on the upside. All right, it's pulling back to this area of demand right here. Okay, I didn't take that trade, but yes. All right, so if we scroll over and look at move over and look at excuse me, the 1-hour chart here. I'm looking at it. So let's see here. Okay, price is holding structure right here at this area here at 45 in this area right here. Okay, off the 60-minute chart. So that means it's holding at an area of support. It's at an area, a powerful area within the market, within the structure. It's at a powerful structure area is what I'm trying to say. It's at a powerful market structure area where prices um, holding that. And if you know at that point there, you didn't go over and look at your 12 range chart and see if price is starting to break structure to the upside. If it does start to break structure to the upside, because this is a powerful demand, it's an area of demand right here on the 1-hour chart, and it starts to break structure to the upside on your 12 range chart, then it could be an opportunity to take longs as well. So you just have to wait to see if price is going to break structure or areas to the upside. It did break structure right here as it pushed down. It broke structure to the upside, came back, boom, taps into demand, boom, pushes up, pulls back to demand, boom. So what's it going to do right here now? This is the key. This is the key. Are we going to break? You know, what's the market going to do right here? The price is still breaking, pushing higher, right? You know, we already broke structure here, so you know you could have somewhat of a short-term bias to the upside, but we are at a swing high here. Okay, so be careful. All right, so now we see prices. What's it doing? It's breaking higher, guys. It is breaking higher. So we started making these swings to the upside. Okay, breaking structure, broke structure, breaking market structure to the upside now. All right. So now we have to be careful here. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm short. Yes, I am. I am short. Um, okay. Come on. First contract filled. And we're not hitting the second one yet, but come on. Hmm. Come on. Go ahead and take trying to take profit here if it pulls back, pushes back down. Come on. What is it doing here? Market's playing around. Mm. Yeah, it should. Let me see here. Yeah, not sure why is it. Should push lower. Yeah, come on. Come on. There we go. Finally got it. Okay. So that's going to be my last trade for the day, guys. Trade the Emini S&P 500 futures. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over and talk a little bit about, um, you know, rules to define what areas, in the market, what particular areas or zones, what are called powerful structure zones or areas that you should be looking for to take trades from, whether it's shorts or longs, doesn't really matter. But it's just, first and foremost, I've always said this in the past, follow market structure, okay? So here are the rules, okay? One, always look at your higher time frame. The higher time frame, you know, supply and demand areas, your higher time frame. Figure out what the market is doing from a higher time frame. All right. So what did I do? I looked at my 1 hour chart. I'm using a 1 hour chart at this time. I'm just trying to show you as an example that you can use. We can do it off the 12 range chart, but the 1 hour is probably going to give you, it gives me a bigger picture. It helps me to define my bias. You can use 12 range to do the same. But if you're using a lower time frame for your entry chart, like the 4 range, use a higher time frame if you're going to be looking at to kind of get a bias of the direction of the market. Okay, but I'm kind of scaling down from the 12, excuse me, from the 60-minute and 1 hour to the 12 range. Okay, and then look at the 4 range. But anyways, looking at the 1 hour chart, we can see that the market has been breaking structures to the downside. Like I said, breaking structure, just breaking structure, breaking lows. Okay, and then at some point we're looking for price to uphold an area. Okay, an area of support. And that area of support, to me, is just not an area of support, but maybe it's also an area I'm looking for. I'm marking my zone. I like to look for areas of demand in the market, okay? To me, this is the area of demand right here where I saw price bouncing out of, this zone area right here, okay? So one, figure out from a higher time frame, the structure of the market by following, price action and looking at the market structure, okay? The market structure and look at the market. When I saw price pushing up here and pushing lower, okay, I said the market structure to the downside. I mean, the price is breaking market structure to the downside, okay? All right, so I'm looking at that, okay? And then from that, I can mark off areas to where I maybe look where price will maybe hold its, uphold a zone where price will uphold structure or support at, okay? So to me, this is a powerful area to be looking for maybe something to happen, okay? Powerful structure, trading structure, all right? Two, if you're looking, say, at that point, I'm overlooking the 12 range chart, okay? All right. When I see price, you can use this as a tool to use to determine powerful structures as well. Say, for instance, you didn't even want to look at the 1 hour chart. You want to use it in 1 hour. You trade strictly off the 12, okay? And then looking at your 4 for your entry. How to identify powerful structures in the market that will be good areas on pullbacks where price would uphold, structure at, meaning that it will stop there, pause there, and you can possibly look for an entry at, okay? First of all, if you see big swings, okay, on the 12 range, all right? Say, for instance, like, let us use some of these swings to the downside here, okay? Let's see. Look at something that makes a little more sense. Give me a second. Okay. Like right here, we can use this as an example. Well, because I've already talked about this earlier in the video. This area right here, price pulled back, decent. Okay, so what you want to be looking for is areas where price, as it pushes lower, breaking structure to the downside. Okay, All right, meaning breaking lower lows on the downside. So price pushed down here, pull back, broke a little low here, pulled lower. If it's got a significant pullback, when I say significant pullback, I'm looking for at least a 3-candle pullback, and typically maybe 50% on a retracement. Okay, so if you want, if you trade based on fibs or whatever the case is, so like right here. All right, I'm gonna blow this up. Okay, what do you see? This is the 12 range. All right, price broke the structure right here, the low here, pushes down, then it pulls back. Did it break a 50% retracement? Yes, it did. Did it break with 3 candles to the upside? Yes, it did. So to me, if price pulls back to this area, okay, this could be a good area to be looking for, possibly to take a short from, okay? But of course, we just don't take it once price gets there. We look for the rejection, of course, right? So at that point, I can mark a zone, all right, using a rectangle. I'm looking for price to pull back to the area of supply, which is the innermost portion of the swing to the downside here, okay? Which would be to me this area right here. Why? Because price, if it pulls back into this area here, it's pulling back to the upper portion of the high volume area as well. So that's, to me, that's double area. That means it's confirmation, double area of confluency for me. All right. So that's an area there too. Okay. So like I said, price pulls back, swings back, major retracement or pullback, 3 candles or more, using your fib if you want to from the high down to the next low of at least a 50% retracement pullback on the pullback. Okay, that's to me could uphold to be a powerful structure area to where, or a zone where price can pull back at, and you can look for maybe a rejection to actually enter a short. Here's an area here. All right, another example. This swing to the downside. Price pushed down, pull back, it pushed lower, it broke structure, right? Okay. Okay. So here, if we look from, well, let's take a look at this. When price pushed down here, pull back. All right. And this is not a major pullback to me, even though it's 3 candles. Because if I use, say, for instance, the fib, if you use the fibs, okay, it's a little high here to this high here. I'm not sure if it's 50%. It may be. Actually, it's a little more than 50%. But to me, I can eyeball that, engage that with my eye, and say, not too big of a. I'm looking for bigger retracements, bigger areas in the market where the market's swinging. Okay. So this to me is not one. But when I see price break, start chopping to the downside here, the price chopping to the downside, right? Okay. So it swings down, pulls back, breaks structure, and then we got these little swings to the downside. So this is a good move to the downside. So what we're looking for is a nice pullback, all right? That's going to create a bigger opportunity for for an area that will uphold it as a stronger area of a powerful area of structure, pretty much. So so this right here, when price pulled to the down, pulled back, okay, chop it to the downside, okay. A lot of selling took place in this area right here, okay. So now if we take a fib and we run that fib, if you want to, you can do this from here to here on the pullback, okay. It's more than 50. It was more than a 50% retracement for one, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 candles right here. So nice pullback, okay. All right. So what I'm trying to say is that when price pulls back to this area right here, it could be a decent area to look for a rejection to take place. So we're seeing some rejection right now. We're at the upper end of this high volume area as well, right? Okay. This is resistance, okay? All right. Also, price pushes lower, pulls back 4 candles. Pulls back 4 candles, and what does it do? Lots of selling, okay? So, once again, we take our fib. We can run a fib from here to, draw from here if you want to. Okay, and lots of selling took place, okay? Lots of selling, nice pullback, okay? So, if you see lots of selling taking place out of a swing where price is breaking structure to the downside, and then you get a nice retracement, especially with lots of selling is, you can mark this area. This is resistance right here, okay? Price pulls back, nice pullback. Lots of selling to the downside on the pullback, okay? On the pullback, it could be a nice area to go short, and you see what happens here, okay? Price pulls back to this area, you take a short, okay? So that's how you can use fib of a 50% rule and 3 candle rule on a retracement pullback. Okay, so meaning price from the high to the low, from a high to the low, price pulls back 50%, and you've got at least 4 candle. Excuse me, what I meant to say 3 or 4 candle pullback. Okay, so this area would uphold as a significant area of as a powerful structure that you can look for price to, or resistance area for price we can take a trade from, guys. Okay, all right. So moving on. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is all right. So we've got a significant, like I said, pullback here, right? Okay, and then price pushes lower. Lots of selling took place out of that pullback. Okay, lots of selling took place. Okay, now what we really want to see price do is this is straight up resistance right here. Price pulls back right here to the mouth or opening of the swing level right here. It broke structure. So we want to see price pull back 3 or 4 candles, have that retracement or whatever you want to say. Looking at the field, price pushing lower, lots of force to the downside. Okay, as it's selling down to the downside. All right, this would mark an area or zone, an area of resistance to where price can pull back to, and we can look to possibly take a short. Now, to me, I'm hoping price is going to pull back to the area of supply. Okay, and does it? Yes, it does. Okay, it pulls back into it. We're shy of a tick or two, pretty much. Let's see, did it hit it? Actually, it did. It hit it. Okay, 1 tick away. So price does pull back to this area right here. When price pulls back to this area, there's really nothing right here that's going to stop stop price really until it really gets down here in a sense. So, but you got to be careful here because there could be a swing level or so if you look at the 4-range chart. So always be looking at your higher time frame and your lower time frame, because there could be a swing level right here that actually broke this structure to the upside to where price pulls back. It could be something right here on the 4-range chart. Let's look at it. Where that purple line is right there, 11:11. Okay, it's a time frame. 11:11. Right here. Price pulls back. Let's see. That high was sitting right here at 45.94, which is this area right here. This is the little structure right here. Okay, little structure, little swing. Price pulls back to it. That's what stopped price from going any lower. When it pulled back. Okay. Now it could have pulled on down to this area right here. Okay, but it didn't. But we did get rejection, as I said. Wait for price to pull back. I'm looking for price to pull back to the area of supply within this swing to the downside as price is breaking structure. Turns around, pulls back. Okay. And when it does that, I'm looking for maybe a quick opportunity to go short. All right. You can go short here if you look, just wait for the rejection, whatever the case is. All right. This price pulls back to the area of supply. But be careful and be mindful, because here you have you see a price push lower here. As price starts to make swings to the upside, what's it doing? It's breaking market structure. So be mindful of it breaking market structure to the upside, because even though you took a short here, be mindful, because price is going to stop somewhere below it and possibly bounce because we're breaking structure to the upside now. Breaking market structure back to the upside, taking out this high right here, okay? So be mindful of that. So the rule for, like the opportunity to take shorts here would be, 1, seeing price break structure to the downside. Okay, price breaking structure to the downside here on this swing to the downside. Break structure here. Wait for price to tap back into, come back to the area of resistance, possibly the area. More likely, I like to look for the area of where most of the selling took place, which is the area of supply right here. Okay, now this is resistance. If you see clear enough, give you good enough projection, you can go short. Okay, this would have been a nice short here. Well, if I would have waited for price to pull back to this area of supply, all right, what happens? It starts swinging to the upside, breaking market structure. So I know if I take that area, take that short at this area here where I have the rectangle at, which is supply within this swing level, what's going to happen? I could be stopped somewhere, because of the fact is, at the moment of rejection, because price is breaking structure and possibly trying to move higher. Okay, so those are the things to look for. Those are kind of the rules that define which areas or zones could be powerful structures, areas to look for rejection, failure, to possibly take a trade at. This right here was a key area. Okay, why? Because breaking structure to the downside, price pulls back significantly, 3 or 4 candles back to the upside, and then breaking with lots of force back down to the downside with lots of selling. So on the pullback, naturally speaking, we're looking for something to happen and take a short from, okay? So what do we see happening right here? I just mentioned this. Right here, what happened? Price pushed lower, okay? Broke structure lower here, pull back, breaking structure lower to the downside. Lots of selling out of this area. And I mentioned this just prior to just a little bit ago. I said if price pulls back to this area here, it could be an opportunity to do what? To go short, right? All right. Why? Because it's pulling back to a powerful structure, to an area where there was lots of selling that took place out of this zone, out of this area, out of this swing right here. Okay. Price pulls back. Okay. To that area. But be careful, like I said, because we are breaking market structure back to the upside here. But the overall bias, if you're looking at a higher time frame in the hour, to me is short. Okay, but you can take short, you can take long, just depending. You got to be mindful of how what price is doing as it's breaking structure. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So those are the things to really look for. Okay, guys. So one, look at the high time frame. Figure out and take a bias on what price is doing based on, if price is breaking major market structure, breaking structure. If it is, depict an area where price can uphold or maybe uphold structure at, and to, take a trade from in that area. Maybe don't take a trade off the 1 hour chart, but just switch over to like maybe your 1 hour chart. I mark this area right here. Okay, all right, here's an area here, demand here. Price can possibly uphold structure there. And then from there, if price upholds structure there, it starts breaking back to the upside, my bias is going to kind of change if I see short term, if I see price breaking to the upside, breaking market structure, meaning breaking highs here, and it does. So right now it's pulling back. It's pulling back, and let's see here. Yeah, so if it's pulling back to an area that possibly price could bounce at. So that's the first thing. Figure out the informal bias based on maybe looking at your higher time frame and mark an area or zone to where possibly price could form structure at a powerful structure area. And then from that, you can start looking at the 12 range chart, setting up or marking off areas or levels to where price could actually, reject from. So when I told you that my bias was to the downside, at that point I'm looking for, opportunities to go short. I drew this area, that line there. This was to me an area off the 60-minute chart where price can probably bounce at and then change direction. But the whole time until price got there, I'm looking for shorts to the downside. Okay, so when price pulls back here, pushes down here, pulls back, pushes lower, price comes back. This is a good area to go short from. Okay, all right. So that's what I'm looking for. And like I said, you can use that and look at the 12 range chart. Once you start looking at your 12 range chart and you see price breaking structure to the downside, meaning breaking these lows to the downside, if the pullback is greater than 3 to 4 candles, say 3 to 4 candles, and if you use fibs, okay, it's okay. But if you use fibs, what I'm trying to say here is that look for at least a 50% retracement. 3 candles, 4 candles on 50% retracement, a pullback, and then you see lots of selling coming back out of that area. Back down to the downside. So price pushes down here, pulls back, 3 or 4 candles, boom. Price pushes lower, lots of selling. If it's from here to here is a 50% retracement, then hey, it could be definitely a good area to take a short from. Yeah, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you appreciate the video here. Just kind of giving you some pointers and tips, basically rules of how to determine or define powerful structure areas in the market to possibly take trades from. Always look at your higher time frames, guys, and see if price is pulling back or pulling back to an area of supply demand. Support resistance zones or strong areas to where price may uphold structure there, and then go over to your, scale down to your lower time frame chart and wait for price to pretty much guide you in a direction. Like I mentioned, when price got down to this area here. This, if you look at the 60-minute chart, was an area demand on the 60-minute chart, and then here it starts to break structure on the 12 range chart. So when it starts to break structure, you know, you're looking for price to pull back to an area to basically break structure. I mean, I'm breaking market structure here, all right, and then on a pullback, you're looking for price to reject the area, just as it's doing right now. It's rejecting and it's pushing higher. It's probably going to pause right here at 4603.5, somewhere in this area here, right? The upper portion of this high volume area. It's already at 4602 and almost a half, so it's 4 ticks away. So this would have been possibly a good trade, you know. It didn't pull right back into the zone, but it was a few ticks away. And if you waited and looked at the 4 range chart, look for a rejection, you could have taken this trade here, and that would have been, you know, a solid trade right there. Okay, I you know, was covering and talking about, you know, things and looking at the market, so wasn't really focused on this area here at the time. But anyways, I hope you appreciate the video, guys. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I hope you just go ahead and subscribe to the channel and join the team, guys. And I'll see you in the next video. If you're trading, be safe in the market, and see you in the next one.